everything close. Okay, so welcome to today's talk. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I've always wanted to be a part of this community, and this talk is about the 10 principles of soul-aligned community, but I'm actually not going to give you 10 principles. That's something you have to create yourself. I can only teach from what I've experienced myself. I love living life. I'm an Aquarian, so I'm here to experience everything. And any other Aquarians in the house? Oh, hi. So we're a bit of an outsider. No one really gets us or understands us, but we like to have fun. And I'm just a random guy traveling the world by myself. I'm just one dude, joining random people in a city, in a town, in a community, just one guy, one face. And then randomly, through the fun that I have, some people get a little bit entertained and inspired by my mantra. And again, repeat after me: I love my life. I love my life. I love my body. I love my body. I love myself. I love myself. I'm really into that. That's the one thing I'm good at. I used to suffer from suicidal depression, addiction, like all the classic things. Every person from England who drinks and takes drugs is kind of like, I come from an amazing background in advertising, which is fueled on drugs and alcohol. I used to work on a lot of alcohol brands, and I was really good at having fun. So fun is my biggest thing. And I believe if I exist, then 10 more people like me must exist. That's what I honestly, it's a foundational piece. Because I suffered from incredible loneliness because I didn't feel understood. And everyone just, even like my cousins in Bangladesh, they say I'm crazy. A lot of people who don't understand me say I'm mad or crazy. But if it wasn't for the crazy ones, we wouldn't be having so much fun. So why community is not optional for digital nomads? It's a core ingredient for well-being, purpose, and growth. So me personally, I'm creating a new community. And this one is happy, healed, healthy, wealthy, sexy, sober, and stylish. These are the core principles. They're actually all paradoxical. And I've built multiple communities for a few decades. Like, it's my jam, it's my thing. And this was one of the communities I started. This was a unicorn community where people thought that they were identified as a unicorn. The official term is known as an otherkin. So I would travel the world being myself, which was a person that identified as a human unicorn. And just by me being me, because I have that core belief, if I exist, 10 more people like me must exist, I met more people like me. Which was nice, right? I then became obsessed by this thing called Burning Man. Has anyone heard of Burning Man?
Yeah.
A great, it's a beautiful arts festival. I was born and raised on Star Trek. I really believe in Star Trek. I believe that we will have a universal high income. And my passion on this planet is to help people to be themselves. And if we live in a capitalist society, get paid to be yourself. Like one of my streams of income is the Shaft Show Live. So I go around the world doing big entertainment shows and, again, having fun. So I discovered Burning Man, 2010. Nomading before nomads was a thing. How I migrated with people, discovered patterns at festivals, and found my path at Burning Man. So I realized in every community, every town, every culture, every corporation, there is a system to get to the top. If it's a race, there is a race. It's called, has anyone heard of the rat race? Anyone left the rat race? Yeah. So that's a race. And there's multiple races. It's an eternal race. I was once part of the spiritual scene, and there's an enlightenment race. Everyone's racing to get enlightened. So there's multiple races. I say go for it, win as many as you want. The only competition you're in is the one with yourself. Mommy and daddy love you, so it's fine. So with Burning Man, I noticed there was a system that they had to create a community. Money doesn't exist, just like Star Trek. You could be whatever you want to be, any kind of alien life form you want to be, just like Star Trek. So this was the closest thing I found to the life that I always wanted to live, which is like Star Trek, where money doesn't exist and you could be whoever you want to be, love however you want, without the judgment of society. There is a price to all of this. There is a price of ultimate freedom. For 10 points, what is that price of freedom? Anybody going once?
Criticism, rejection.
What's that? Rejection?
Criticism, rejection.
Criticism. Oh, very good. You get 5 points for that. That's actually very good. One more.
Loneliness.
Lonely. That's another 5 points. Yes. Thank you for understanding that. It gets terribly lonely. One more.
Loneliness in the beginning.
I mean, we had that. You get 5 points each. The ultimate price of freedom, to be yourself, is judgment. People will judge you because if we were living in a society where everyone's sad, depressed, and broke, and you're just a little bit happier, what's going to happen to you? They're not going to trust you. If you're a little bit richer, they're not going to trust you. And that's what I found in my own personal journey, that judgment was the ultimate price that I had to pay for just being happy. Here at Burning Man, it was different. They have a thing called the 10 Principles to Burning Man. They have a belief system. And I noticed that at this festival, there is a system to it where you can, if it's a race, get to the top. To build your own community, your own camp. As anyone plays The Sims, it's like a little computer game where you create towns, cities, and ecosystems and everything. Humanity is a little bit like that. And I noticed that at this, in this reality, you can create any reality that you want. I was a unicorn, I identified as a unicorn, and then I started meeting more unicorns. In 2010, I started my first global movement. Changing the world one horn at a time. I was just one weird guy, Bangladeshi Muslim, from Britain. Do you know how much social conditioning that is? Any religious people come from religious households? Oh, just me and you. So yeah, that's a lot of conditioning that you have to let go of to be yourself. That's tens of thousands of pounds in therapy. I, in my core belief back then, believed I was a unicorn, and then I started to create a community of like-minded individuals. Think of the weirdest thing you could do, and I went and did it. Only because I believed in myself. I believed so wholeheartedly that I was a unicorn, that I created a language model. Before ChatGPT was a thing, I realized that different cultures, different communities have like different hand symbols, high fives, high hooves. They have catchphrases. They have costumes and outfits. I had no reference point on how to create that because I made it up, 100% made up. I do have a background, and I forgot to mention this, in a thing called advertising. Anyone know what advertising is? It's manipulating billions of people to feel so shit about themselves that they buy stuff that they don't need. I worked at the top agencies. You could find my LinkedIn profile because I had a job as a normal citizen. The rat race, I won it. And in my LinkedIn profile, you can see the agencies, the corporations, the brands I worked with. I worked with Disney, I worked with Coca-Cola, I bought 2 houses. Remember the rat race, system, patterns, and everything? I just saw the systems and patterns and I accelerated super quick to be a normal person who lived in London. A couple of houses, nice home, great job, great community. With that pattern recognition system in my brain I have, which comes from a very high, they say the most stressful job on the planet is working in advertising. And you really got to understand human psychology, human beliefs, how to, make people feel shit, so they buy stuff. And the whole system, this whole system that we live in, is a capitalist society built on your fear. So I thought, this is my job, and I want to admit this, I loved my job. It was so easy. I just sat there, rock up, make pretty pictures, get paid an insane amount of money back then. It's meaningless now. But back then it was a lot of money. And I loved it. Like, I really loved it. It was like so easy. It's like, before meditating was a thing, it's like meditating. You're in the flow state, you put in your music, you blah, 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 and then you just come up with a crazy idea, and people just pay you handsomely. And if you're good at it, you could buy houses with it. And again, in the rat race, that's the important thing. So here, I thought, instead of selling fear, can I sell love? Can I sell fun? Can I utilize the thing that I was so good at, manipulating millions of people to buy stuff? Can I sell something that's nice? And I did. I packaged everything I learned about humans and society. And I did it for this movement. And I realized, and my middle name is Islam, I love religion. I love them all. My mum, she's a strict devout Muslim. My sister, she's Buddhist. I travel the world a lot. I've been nomading before as a thing. And one of my homes is Scandinavia. I pray to Uddin. Our dates, like Thursday, is named after Thor. Friday is named after Freya. Uddin is Wednesday. It's named after Norse mythology. That was once a religion. I believe in all the things. So I saw a pattern in belief. If you're creating a community or a religion or a movement, you need something for everybody to believe in. So I created this. And I created this in Midburn. Has anyone been to Israel, Jerusalem? I had a beautiful awakening there, and I was in the old city of Jerusalem. I think, did they call it the Messiah complex or something like that? You think you're Jesus. I had one of those moments. And from there I created my 10 principles. I'm going to read them out because why not? So this is the 10 principles of unicornia. Look how pretty I made it. My graphic design skills. Back then Canva didn't exist. I went to a thing called university where you study for 3 years about typography. That's what I did. But you could just, press a button on Canva and it's done for you. So, I'm proud of this stuff. So, number 1, always be fabulous to one another and the universe will deliver. Give, give, give with all your heart and you will receive love, love, love. Isn't that nice? Number 2, when you shine, you enable others to shine around you. As unicorns are always adorned in glitter, we always shine. Number 3, if you love everyone, there'll be more love in the world. It's a nice thing, isn't it? Have many lovers and love all of them. Make out and make love with a pure heart and make everyone feel fabulous and sexy. This is key to #spread the sparkle. Number 4, you can't cage a unicorn. We are a symbol of freedom. We live free and we never age. So be fabulous, have fun and play. It's true. Number 5, we're all gods and goddesses. We create the heaven we want to live in. But remember, with a great horn comes fabulous responsibilities. Number 6, fabulousness attracts fabulousness. There is no uniform in unicorn. That is why we are so fabulously unique. Number 7, a unicorn is never late nor on time. They arrive when they mean to arrive. Bring the party with them. That is something I really still believe to this day, because whenever I arrive, I always bring the fun with me. Number 8, be kind and help others. But make sure you help yourself first so you are at 100% sparkle. This way, your power can go further. Unicorns believe whatever life throws at you, it'll always turn out sparkly in the end. Else it's not the end. Number 9, dedicate yourself to your dreams. Be pure with your intentions. Share your goals. The power of manifestation will whip it up from the universe. And number 10, never be afraid of change. Embrace it. You wouldn't be here now if you didn't change. So that's what we believed in. Completely made up. Made up from my own life experiences. I would love to share something I learned about belief. Whatever you believe in comes true. So if you believe life is terrible, everything's against you, and you're paranoid all the time, and you don't trust anyone, then that's the reality you're going to get. If you believe that life is amazing, life works in your favor, you'll also get that. So it just really depends what you want to believe. And I think that's a foundational piece to this thing called reality, your belief. I made that up, one guy by himself for 3 years, not pretending, I was a unicorn. Like I was not just a unicorn, I was a lesbian unicorn. Back then there wasn't this thing around trans everything, but I was just one guy who was very in his feminine, and no one understood me. But I just kept on going. And eventually, one person believed in me. Luckily, she was a beautiful woman. And instead of me going to Burning Man events and a lot of events in London by myself, it ended up being me and her. Luckily for her, everyone wanted to be like her, not me, no one cared about me. Everyone wanted to be like her. They saw her. So through her, my first friend, who identified as a unicorn, it started. Things started. We became so big that we had TED Talks, we're on music videos, we're performing at the O2 Arena, Coco Club, every single festival you could think of in the UK and around the world. I was getting booked left, right and center, and I had a normal job. Just remember, I was working in a corporation, a serious job. Remember, I'm still in the matrix. But eventually, this movement did exactly what I wanted it to do. I didn't want to be alone, because I suffered from incredible loneliness. And then the world started to understand me, and more people, and you'll notice this from human history. There's a moment in human history a few years ago where everything was unicorn. Unicorn t-shirts, mugs, billion-dollar tech companies were unicorns. Like, everybody was using the word unicorn. And that's because I made sure that happened. And eventually, millions and millions and millions of people decided that they were a unicorn. And then I wasn't alone. I did it. I started a global movement. One crazy person by himself, one beautiful woman who believed in me, and then the whole of London got into it. And everywhere I went in the world, I could just go there as a unicorn covered in glitter, and people would love me. People would open up their doors to me. And then I had free accommodation, and I could do whatever I wanted, because I would go there and people would go, hey, Shaf the Unicorn is here, you know, the guy from Burning Man, and put me on the stage. That's when a documentary was made about me, because I became quite famous in what I did, and that was the whole point. And then that documentary went viral. Back before everybody was famous, because everyone is famous now, you can get millions of views and verified on Instagram, everyone's an influencer. There was a TV channel called Vice. And if you were on Vice, you kind of had a dent in the collective consciousness. Now, millions and millions of people go viral every day. But if you went viral on Vice, millions and millions of people in the collective consciousness saw you. So during this time, they were filming me because they loved the community I created. They loved it. We were hedonists. We were all about pleasure and fun. And, you know, hashtag spread the sparkle. We really believed in what I believed in. But when they started filming, I stopped drinking and taking drugs, which meant, has anyone had this spiritual awakening or mental breakdown, and like you didn't know who you were anymore and you needed therapy, you had a psychosis? Anyone had anything like that? It's just me and you today. Yeah, imagine someone filming you for 1 year whilst you're going through hell. Now, I was a severe alcoholic and a drug addict, so I had to come off the alcohol and the drugs. And I was filmed during that time. So I became famous in the eyes of millions and millions of people for being a bit of a mess. And people stopped me on the streets. Everywhere I went. And I would go to the cool places like New York, London, and all these trendy places where trendy people are who watch fights. So I would get stopped on the streets. And I thought I was a failure, and I was famous for being a failure, but people saw it as being inspiring. And that video of me having a mental breakdown for 1 year went viral because it showed a mentally ill person just trying to cope in life, trying to get well. And it showed my vulnerability, my humanness as being a mentally insane person trying to get help. And it helped a lot of people. And during that time, I discovered this. My next thing, my next global movement, 2014, I discovered a thing called Tantra. Now, has anyone heard of Tantra? If you have, raise your hand. Do you know why? Because I did the same thing again. So I wanted everyone to do Tantra. Back in 2014, nobody was doing Tantra. I just want you to be aware of this. No one was doing it. In England, if you did Tantra, you heard it from Sting in the 90s or American Pie. If you went to a Tantra workshop, everyone was like in their 60s and 70s and overweight. It was me. I loved it. It's like my favorite new thing. And when you find something that helps you heal, especially if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, and you're no longer a drug addict and an alcoholic, you're like, oh my God, everyone needs to learn this thing called Tantra. No one really knew what it was back then. And to be honest, no one knows what it is now. After 12 years of telling everybody it's not about sex, everyone still thinks it's about sex. So that campaign didn't work for anybody. But for me, it really helped. I got so into this new passion that I actually became a fully enlightened guru, a tantric sex guru. And because of this documentary, back then 13,000 people on Facebook was a lot of people, and then 34,000 people on YouTube was a lot of people. Again, a dent in the collective consciousness. People, for the first time, saw this video and was so inspired. It's actually one of the highest performing videos for Vice, just so you know. And this was highly calculated and scripted, because they fucked me over the first time, because they filmed me having a mental breakdown for entertainment. So I was like, I'm not going to let them fuck me over again. I'm going to make sure I get my message across, which was about healing, getting well, and also getting more people into the weird stuff I'm into. So eventually, by being a tantric sex guru, this is my house in London, I slowly shifted from my 6-figure salary job, working at the biggest agencies in the world, 15 years doing that, and then I went full-on guru. Had the best time of my life. It turns out that I could help more people being myself. So people identified themselves in me. I'm a bit weird looking, and I have a beautiful mustache, and I dress like a Shiva, but I'm really myself. Like I genuinely am myself. Back then I was a version of myself that I'm not now. Like I'm myself now. And my new kink, or my new obsession, is finding healed, happy, healthy, wealthy, sexy, sober, stylish people. That's my thing. But back then I was obsessed by this thing called Tantra. And guess what happened again? I just repackaged the whole thing, taking the same framework and creating a global movement around intimacy and conscious sexuality. So I created this book. You can get it on tantrawithshaf.com. What is Tantra? The 10 principles to your sacred sexual awakening. It worked the first time, let's do it again. It's just rinse and repeat. And I got even more famous this time. I started another global movement. So I ended up being on national TV, had more documentaries made about me, more articles made about me. I think I'm the only person that really likes being famous. Like my famous friends, like these guys. Does anyone know Mind Valley, Vishen Lakiani? great guy. They don't like being famous. I love people stopping me on the streets to this day still and asking to take a selfie with me. I've even been with these guys and people didn't recognize them and asked them to take a selfie with me. And that's insane because I was famous such a long time ago. So the legacy still carries on. And I find it hilarious. It's just fun. Also, my life is pretty tragic, just so you know. I'd rather focus on the fun stuff than the tragic stuff. And using my passion around Tantra, I was living in Sweden during COVID, and I wanted to create a community during COVID. You can't connect with anyone during COVID, because it's illegal. But where I was, Sweden didn't have COVID, and people were lonely and isolated. And randomly, this is me on a TV show called Talang. It's Sweden's Got Talent. My social media there's no strategy behind my social media, and a lot of my social media is gone. It's just me talking about two things. If I'm in a relationship or out of a relationship. And this caught the attention of the producers and the judges of Sweden's Got Talent, and they wanted me to go in there and do some Tantra stuff. And I was like, they want me to do a very specific thing, which was give all the judges orgasms. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually use it as the biggest self-love stunt in television history. There's 10 million people in Sweden, highest suicide rates. I was suicidal and depressed, and the tragedy, which I can't be bothered to talk about, not relevant. But my inner monologue was, I hate my life, I hate my body, and the best one was, I hate myself. And the ultimate one was, everybody hates me. I genuinely believed that. With all the Tantra stuff, it flipped. So 1 year and 8 months of doing the Tantra stuff, which none of you really know what that much stuff means, but it's not what you think. It's a lot of work. 1 year and 8 months, all gone. Like gone. I'm not addicted to anything. That was like really long time ago. I've been sober for 12 years now. And life is so much easier. I have way more fun because of this thing called human connection. And that's the most important thing, which is creating a community around whatever you believe in. I went on that TV show and I said, if I could, my inner monologue was, and the plan was, if I could change one person's inner monologue from I hate myself to I love myself, then I get to save one person's life. Highest suicide rate in the world is Sweden. I went on there and I shared my mantra. Repeat after me. I love my life.
I love my life.
I love my body.
I love my body.
I love myself.
I love myself.
So I went there and shared that mantra. I did a whole performance and everything. It was pretty epic. And they edited it in a really nice way. They didn't fuck me over. They were actually really nice.
Did you say it in Swedish?
Sorry?
Did you say it in Swedish?
I did it all in English.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next day, people reached out on my social media and they said, I was about to kill myself. Because of your transmission, I did not. So my job is in the life-changing and life-saving industry. That's what I do. That's my job. That's how I pay my mortgage. That's how I buy my bitcoins. That's how I pay for my stocks and shares. When you save one person's life, that's kind of addictive. It's like, oh, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. And when you start doing it over and over again for a decade, it just becomes a bit normal. And it's just, you just drill the scripts, the workshops, the formula into something that entertains you so it's not boring anymore. So I travel the world doing fun stuff, which is all the life-saving and life-changing technology to dubstep, to music, to cuddling, to connection. And, well, I mean, we are evidence-based humans. So if something works, we do it, and if something works and people believe it, we keep on doing it. I didn't know what Mind Valley was, but I became a speaker there. Not only did I become a speaker there, I traveled the world and I went to Burning Man. Like, I'm mates with all of these people. But I was coming out of the spiritual gutter that I was in. I was coming out of the guru phase. And now, since I was 42, since 2022, I have come into my happy, healed, healthy, wealthy, sexy, sober, stylish people. That's my new phase in my life. And the framework I want to share with you, the formula is, I come from England, so we go around sharing our problems all the time. That's how we bond. It's also known as gossiping, and it's just how it's just suffering. Just suffering really brings people together. I personally believe there must be a better way. You know, if my inner monologue was I hate myself and I change it to I love myself, there must be the opposite of gossip and suffering, which is focusing on your passions. So instead of sharing your problems, I go around sharing my passions. I created because I wanted to kill myself, so there's got to be a better reason to live life. There must be a formula to it. Again, a brain that's built for advertising, getting big concepts, what is the meaning of life, and making it small and easy for everybody to digest. I believe that the meaning of life is to live a meaningful life through creation, collaboration, service, and impact. That's all about creating. If I'm paraphrasing from the Bible, but God made man in his own image, which is he made him look like him, which is we look like a God. And I believe they were just bored and they just created us. And we're meant to be creating, just creating art. I can't read or write good. I'm not very good at anything apart from making pretty pictures. I've been doing that since 1988. So this is why I believe this stuff, because it's just my human experience. So I like to create, I'm an artist. So if I create, I'm happy. And if I create, other people will want to create with me. So I have people to play with. Very simple, I'm a very simple person. So there's people who could create with me. And if we create together, we could collaborate and we could serve if we're into making money, because we live in a capitalist society. I love money, by the way. It's one of my favorite things. Then you start making money. And it's okay making money because, you know, if you didn't like making money, then you're going to hate money. You might want to fix that relationship. So I like creating, being paid to be myself, having friends to create with me, and then through a group of sexy people doing sexy stuff and collaborating and doing cool shit, we start getting noticed. And it depends what cool shit is. Mine's saving lives, so that's what I'm into. People want to be a part of it. People want to pay for your products. So you're serving humanity. Now it's not just like you're by yourself, creating by yourself. You're in a community, creating by yourself. You're in a town, a city, creating with other people. And if you stick around long enough, then this thing, a vortex starts to happen. And was anybody at my ecstatic dance today? Did you notice a vortex? There's something going on. More and more people are coming. On Saturday, so I'm going to give you the formula. Follow your passions, meet the people, create a principle, and stay in a place. You don't need hustle, you need purpose. Create a vibe, and your tribe will find you. So what I want everybody to do is, for 3 minutes, you're going to write down your principles. Every great belief system, like Christianity, I think they have some kind of a belief system. 10 Commandments. Islam has 5 something. Every religion has something. You know what I mean? So I want you to write down 1, 3, 5, or 10 principles for your community, your soul-aligned community. And I'm going to start the timer now. 3 minutes begins now. I'm going to keep on talking because I've got to entertain my audience in my and my massive YouTube channel. So the key is to create something bigger than yourself. Something because I've been in a spiral and a vortex that brings me down. That's called depression. Really good at that, had that forever. But who are you when you spiral up? And that comes from doing stuff, action. What is your Braveheart gladiator style battle cry? How can you inspire more people to be more awesome? What value do you bring into this world that changes people's hearts, minds, and souls? Do you know who you are so well that it could create other people like you who are awesome? Is it even something you want to do? Everything I do comes from extreme loneliness, sadness, and suffering. And I create my community so I could be happy, healed, be more wealthy, be more healthier through human connection. From happiness comes confidence, from confidence becomes sexiness. I believe that's the highest form of existence. We've got 1 more minute left.
You don't mind if I put sex in somebody's?
What's that?
You don't mind if I put sex in somebody's?
I would love that. I think you need to do the next thing, which is join my group. So I see you. Okay, time is up. Ding! I would love to go around after I finish my little presentation and turn this one off as well. And with this belief system, when you look at it and when you read it, how does it make you feel? That's the main thing. It's all about feelings. So look at your belief system. Hands up if you believe it. That's a lot of people. Does it make you feel good inside? If it does, say, oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice, huh? So this is called passion. Nice. This is called aliveness. We want to drill that into our nervous system so we get motivated to tell more people about the awesome thing that you're creating. Remember, I'm just one guy who just has one passion. I don't want to be alone. And trust me, I've been a self-love coach. If anyone gives me unsolicited advice about you need to love yourself, it's like, no, I know what I need and what I want because I'm 46. I'm old and I'm an Aquarian. No one tells me how to live my life. So my life is simple because I love humans. I'm different to most people, and I have to, can we make an agreement that I'm different to you and my life is my life and your life is your life?
Yeah.
Great, amazing. That's always my get out of jail card free for the thing called judgment, the thing called projection, and a thing called having a perception about you. I'm not you. So with these principles, share them, share your passions. You might find like-minded people. When I left the enlightenment race and the rat race, I found the millionaire bubble. That's my new passion. I love millionaires. Has anyone met a millionaire? So when I was broke and poor, I never met a millionaire, but everyone said, don't be a millionaire, they're evil. Watch out, they're greedy. And the only millionaire I knew was James Murdoch. He's Rupert Murdoch's son. I worked at his company. Outside of that, I didn't meet any. And then one day when I hit 42, I was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. And then guess what happened? I met more millionaires. And guess what? They're really kind. Super nice. Turns out the internet and broke people were lying to me. Turns out people were judging people. And this is a problem with judgment. Because when you build your own community, especially if it's successful, what are you going to get? People who judge you. People won't believe in your beliefs. And a lot of people go to war around beliefs. So we don't want that. So what I do, and I'm going to wrap my presentation up, I travel the world teaching people how to be more awesome. I share this mantra, repeat after me, I love my life.
I love my life.
I love my body.
I love my body.
I love myself.
I love myself.
And I do that through workshops. So I've been in this city for 3 weeks. I ran a workshop, which was that one. Guess how many people came? 0. Apart from one really hot guy, and we got on, and now we're best friends. So, yeah! So, then I ran this one. Guess how many people came? For 3 weeks? 6 people. And then I ran this one. Women's workshop, just for women. Guess how many people came? 3. Ecstatic dance, guess how many people came?
40.
40. First 2 weeks was 7 and 7. So I could get disillusioned, I could get sad, but I don't, because I've been running workshops for 20, when I was the year 2000 to now. It's a long time. Someone do the maths. 26 years. Yeah, is that right? No. So, and I've had various degrees of success. I am blessed to have a 6-figure business. I have multiple streams of income. A little quick thing about the millionaires. If you know the millionaires, you could get their secrets. People in the middle, they will say niche down. I got ADHD, I'm not going to niche down. I'm an Aquarian, I'm a Libra. Like, I got so many things going on inside of me. I do a shit ton of stuff. And I love doing shit tons of stuff. Now, due to AI slop, you just have to overwhelm the internet with your presence and shout really loud. And that's what I'm doing with this. There's no strategy. I have 0 strategy. I have an amazing 6-figure business. Life is incredible. Shit at the same time, but let's not focus on that. And when I travel the world, I like to shout loudly about these things. And as these are pretty weird workshops, I'm only going to attract people like myself. Inner mastery for male entrepreneurs. I'm a male entrepreneur. I know what I want dudes who are successful and sexy. Womb healing. Yada yoni massage. I want sexually liberated women in a community who are powerful, who have boundaries like a ninja, and know what they want. Again, more business-minded, successful people. Melt. This is for human connection, and it's like zouk, bachata, things like that, but more emphasis on romance. A forgotten art. Romance is very important, everybody. An ecstatic dance. I'm sober for 12 years, yay. And I like to dance. So I'm creating the events that I need to go to. And I'm collecting the people that will show up. If I stay here for 3 months, everyone will know who I am. Because I create fun stuff. Entertainment. I like to be entertained and have good friends. If you're building a community, which you are, and that's why you're here, it's so important to have best friends. Your best friends are your biggest fans. Having nice people that you hang around with is important. So I create the inner circle, which is the vibe that you create. Remember that one person that was a hot blonde unicorn? Well, she was my best friend. I was overcoming my addiction and she was in AA, NA. So we were taking care of each other. It's like genuine friendship. So you have to have best friends, and I got to somehow find a best friend here. Luckily, what I do, and I don't have social media anymore, I was at the ecstatic dance today. There was people from Arambol. There's people from Tulum. There's people from a community called Ista. There's a community in Ängsbacka in Sweden, which is one of my core places that I created a lot of my stuff. There's loads of communities that I belong to. and I could travel the world and go back into any of these communities. Because friendship and human connection and love is so important. And one of the key things that I do in my communities, which is different from everybody else, is, this is going to trigger a lot of people, okay? I really like it when people form a loving relationship and have families. Call me weird, but according to the internet, you have to be healed to find love. You got to work on your business first to find love. I think that is the worst way to do it. I believe that love is a foundational key, and that accelerates your personal development. And being in a loving relationship, you don't have to worry about that. Just get that sorted, and then you can focus on your purpose. Especially if your partner is someone a bit like you, who also wants to create like you, someone you could collaborate with. So when and this is how I have been doing all of my experiences, is I look for love first. Again, don't tell me how to live my life, okay? This is the opposite of everybody else. I am not you, but I exist, and 10 more people like me must exist. If you're one of the 10, please put yourself in this group. I'm doing very unique experiences. This is the Telegram group. I would love to have you in my community, only if you're happy, healed, wealthy, sexy, sober, and stylish. And your highest priority is fun. Because guess what happens when you're having fun? The vortex starts going up rather than down. And trust me, I've been down. And I also know who I am when I have a beautiful relationship, have great friends. And a few last minute hacks is, because I'm here by myself. So I got to create this community super quick. Because I need to leave when the visa's up. And it's working. So what I do, on Monday at Z Roastery, which is tomorrow at 9 a.m, I will be having a coffee sharing meditation. In a lot of the communities I'm from, remember I'm sober, so we have sharing groups. In these sharing groups, it's like therapy. So the structure is, you share, I use a prompt, which is, so what is real for you right now? You have a stopwatch. We're busy people, so it's like from 1 minute to 5 minutes. Usually in the communities I'm in, because no one has a job, it's 10 minutes of sharing, and it's 5 people. It's like an hour. But it's group therapy. No unsolicited advice, you just listen, active listening, and you learn how to speak. And that comes from Engsbacker. I have an Engsbacker friend over there, so it's like a thing that we do. And I utilize it for my romantic relationships, my companies, my businesses, and my communities. So we have a coffee, have a stopwatch, 1 minute to 5 minutes. You say, so what is real for you right now? And you have a little sharing, and then you say, thank you for sharing. And then you say, are you open to feedback? And if a person wants feedback, you can only give feedback from an embodied experience. You can't say things like, your attachment style is this, and I saw this on TikTok, and you should try turmeric because go vegan. Nothing like that. It's like, this happened to me, and this is what helped me, and you talk about your experience. And through shared vulnerability and pain, without focusing on the suffering, you get solutions, and that brings more heart connection. I'm all about deep rooted connection. That's just one thing. There's multiple other things that I do. So yeah, tomorrow, Z Cafe, there's 2 Z's. It's the one with 2 floors. I'll be there because I have a job as well, so I've got to go to work in that cafe. But come around for a beautiful little coffee sharing meditation. And that has been my little presentation about how to build a soul-aligned community. And those principles are your own principles that you have to make. I'm going to turn this one off. Goodbye. Oh, got 3 people tuning in. That's fantastic. Not bad.